welcome back to another video, and in this one we're taking a look at the newest god coming to Smite, the long-awaited Baron Samedi. And is that how you say it? Samedi? I think. This is probably my favorite god release since, honestly, I don't even know, since a very, very long time. I haven't even played him yet, but he just looks absolutely amazing. And his kit is so unique, whether he's going to be good, whether he's going to be bad. His kit is so unique and different to Smite that every ability is new. And we'll get into that in a little bit, but you could just see he's constantly dancing and tapping his fingers. He's the life of the party. His jump animation is sick too. He like jumps in the air and like flails his legs out and twirls. Absolutely insane. So you can see here he is a mage, obviously. His weapon has it's like his skull staff with the snake wrapped around it. The snake is incorporated into his ability and his kits, and he's awesome. Everyone kind of knew this is what he was going to look like. He was going to have the skull face paint, the top hat, the cane, because that's Baron Samedi. But I didn't think he was going to look this awesome. I mean, come on. This is his recolor, red rum. If you don't get it, red rum backwards is just murder. I actually like that recolor a lot better. The purple's awesome, don't get me wrong. But the red, that's sick. I really, really like that. And then we also have his masterpiece. This is gold. Ooh, the gold actually looks pretty nice on him. I'm not gonna lie. Damn, I like the snake. The snake and the skull. That's what's gonna make these masteries awesome. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. All right, so his masteries are amazing. Actually, the diamond's probably my least favorite of the three. It's still cool, but I'm surprised I like the gold that much. Usually I don't like the gold masteries. That's awesome. Let's take a look at the voice.
Enemies have returned left. Help right lane. Enemies have returned to base. Enemy missing. Group up. Enemies have returned middle. I'll gank middle lane.
So obviously this is the first god in the Voodoo Pantheon and part of the Divine Uprising event. Well, kind of part of the event. It's not like you need to do the event to get him. Let's take a look real quick at his ability. So his passive is super unique. It's not super unique, but it has two parts to it. It's called Hysteria. The first part kind of acts like Ratatasker's passive, where he shares a brew, and it's a powerful restorative, god, that word, chalice, with his allies in the item shop. So basically, if you have a Baron Samedi on your team, or if you are Baron Samedi, obviously, everybody on that team has access to this chalice that you can buy from the store. It's 150 gold, and I think it restores, like, 200 health and like 140 mana, or so I don't know. It restores mana and health over time, but it's like a cheaper version, and it's just nice. It's a little passive. But his actual passive, Hysteria, actually we'll just read it because it's kind of hard to explain. So enemies hit by Baron will have Hysteria applied to them. Baron's abilities interact with Hysteria to provide bonus effects. Targets at max Hysteria take 25% additional damage. So basically, every basic attack is going to give you 2 Hysteria to that target. I believe your 1 gives you 10 Hysteria. If you hit both of them, it gives you 20. Your 2 gives you 20. Your 3 gives you a lot. Your 3 can give you up to 80. And then your ultimate also gives you some, but I'm not sure. And basically, Hysteria stacks and stacks and stacks on an opponent the more you hit them. And it also destacks if you wait too long without hitting them. So basically, once you get up to 30 Hysteria, that's the minimum threshold. You have to get it at least 30 to really have any additional effects. So once you get to 30 Hysteria, every ability is going to have an additional effect on it. So kind of like, oh god, what god does that? Oh, I'm having a brain fart right now. But there's another god to where it kind of works like that. And then once you get up to 70 Hysteria, which is the max, you're going to do 25%. Was it 25? Yeah, 25% additional damage. So get to 30 Hysteria, additional effect. Get to 70, you just straight up do 25% more damage to them. So that's insane. Your first ability is called Vivid Gaze, and this is super unique. It's 2 skulls come out and shoot beams, but you can control the targeter. And it kind of acts like Kali's blades a little bit. So like they cross section early and then kind of keep going. Or if you put the targeter at the very end, the cross section is going to meet. And we'll take a look at that later on in the video. So animates 2 skulls, both which briefly warm up before firing 2 beams. The beams cross wherever Baron Samedi was aiming. Enemies hit by both take 15% damage on the second hit. So if you manage to hit both of the beams on one target, you're going to get, both damage. First beam is going to do max damage, but the second beam is only going to do 15% damage. Now, if you hit two different gods, obviously, they're going to get hit for the max. If the enemy god is at above 30 Hysteria, which is that minimum threshold, their physical power, magical power, and attack speed are reduced. So if you're going up against, level 20 Hunter, and you really want, their attack speed to go down, stack up 30 Hysteria on them, hit them with Vivid Gaze, debuff. Really cool. It's going to do 90 to 290 damage, 60% of your magical power, 30% reduction, and that's the power reduction. So 30% power reduction if they have 30 Hysteria, and 30% attack speed reduction, and 10 Hysteria per hit. I know this may all be kind of confusing, but his kit is kind of confusing. There's really no other way to put it. You just kind of have to play him and kind of get the hang of it. Cost ranges from 55 to 70, and the cooldown is 9 seconds. Second ability, and I'm not even sure what his lane clear is. I'm thinking this will be his lane clear, but if that's the case, I don't think it's going to be very good lane clear. So this essentially is Izanami's ultimate. I mean, it's not, but that's the animation that it does. It has the same animation as Izanami's ult. So guides restless spirits to the ground and buries them. After a brief delay, the ground erupts, damaging enemies standing in the area. If an enemy god is hit, friendly spirits fly from the area and heal allies near the explosion or by Baron Samedi. So if you hit this target, or if you hit this ability on an enemy, is it any enemy or an enemy god? So an enemy god. If you hit this on an enemy god, it's going to heal your allies. And it also gives them a base heal, and then it heals for 15% of their missing health. So if your ally is, has 2 health left, they're going to get a big heal from this ability. Now, if they are at 30 Hysteria, which is that threshold again, the friendly spirit is going to also cleanse slows from your allies, makes them slow immune, and increases their movement speed. So it's going to do 70 to 290 damage, plus 70% of your physical power, so some good scaling there. The flash heal, so that's what you get healed off from the base, is going to be 40 to 140, plus 10% of your magical power, and then 15% of your missing health. Now, if you have that 30 Hysteria on, you're going to give them 20 to 40% movement speed, which is really good, obviously, along with the cleansing slow. This gives you 20 Hysteria. If you do hit it, costs 75 gold. Costs 75 mana, and the cooldown is 15 to 11 seconds. So this you kind of want to upgrade, mainly because I'm thinking it's your lane clear, and the cooldown goes down on it. Third ability is called Wrap It Up. Pretty awesome, and another one that's super unique. So I guess you could compare this to Izanami's ability, kind of, but these two are just completely unique. He throws his snake forward, wrapping an enemy god hit and dealing damage every 0.5 seconds for 4 seconds, and then slowing them until they're eventually rooted. Now, if they are at 30 Hysteria, the snake will also lash out to nearby enemy gods who stand too close after 1 second. Enemies hit by this are injected with venom that slows them until they are rooted and deals the full damage over time immediately. So to summarize that, let's say you throw your snake at Odin and they don't have 30 Hysteria. You're just going to deal damage to them and eventually slow and root them. Let's say you do have 30 Hysteria. You throw it, and there's going to be a little indicator around the enemy, kind of like Cupid's Heart Bomb. So, when someone gets hit by Cupid's Heart Bomb, you can see, the restricted area. Don't go in it or you're going to be affected by it. Same thing with this. You're going to see the restricted area, and you're also going to have a little, timer that grows bigger, and once the timer gets to full, if you are still in that restricted area by the time the timer goes off, the snake is going to apply venom to you, and instead of doing tick damage to you, it's going to deal immediate damage. So let's say the person you hit with the snake gets dealt 20 damage, 20 damage, 20 damage, 20 damage, 20 damage. The person that the snake jumps to is just going to get dealt 100 damage. It's not going to do tick, so it actually deals the same amount of damage, but I think it's better. I don't know how to explain that. It's more beneficial to the enemy that the snake jumps to, because it doesn't tick, it just does it immediately, if that makes any sense. I feel like this is so confusing as I'm explaining it, but hopefully it'll, be more understandable once we get into the game. Really unique kit, and it's just so hard to explain it, so we just have to get into it. The tick damage is 10 to 42 plus 5% of your magic power. The slow is for 1.75 seconds, and then it roots you for 0.75. and it applies 5 Hysteria per hit. And you can get hit up to, I guess, 8 times. So this is going to be your main Hysteria buildup. This racks it up quick. I think you can get up to like 40 with this immediately, if I'm not mistaken. Cost varies from 60 to 80 and has a 12-second cooldown. His ultimate is sick. I'm not going to read it all. I'm just going to kind of summarize it. Basically, he lifts a coffin from the ground, and he becomes CC immune, and he can move around with it. He has slower movement speed, but he can still move around, and you have this giant cone in front of you. And basically, you just got to go near an enemy, and if they get inside that cone, it's going to deal tick damage to them, and it's going to pull them to the coffin. And as soon as an enemy gets pulled into the coffin, it's going to stun them and deal a bunch of damage to them. And as soon as someone does get stunned, your ultimate stops. So the tick damage is 17 to 45 plus 6% of your magic power. Now, if they get pulled in and hit the coffin, they're going to get dealt 140 to 420 damage plus 50% of your magical power. The total health damage is 50. Oh, sorry. So if targets being pulled are above 30 Hysteria, so again, threshold, the pull strength is increased. They're just going to get pulled in faster. The total health damage is 15%. What is that? Let me read this real quick. So he pulls aside. Oh, he also becomes CC immune, and he also takes 50% reduced damage. So, you know, you don't have to use this offensively. You could technically use it defensively as well. If you're in the middle of a team fight and you're kind of scared, you just pop that up, become CC immune, take 50% less damage. Enemy gods within range are pulled to the coffin. When an enemy god gets too close, blah, blah, blah. This ability persists. So I'm not sure what the total health damage percent is. Not quite sure. The stun does last 2 seconds, so it is a big stun, and it gives you 8 Hysteria per hit. So this is another ability that racks up the Hysteria. I would say in order, Wrap It Up's going to give you the most Hysteria overall by far. Next would be Life of the Party, but you don't get to use that often because it is your ultimate. Consign Spirits probably because it's 20 guaranteed every time. With Vivid Gaze, it's either 10 or 20, depending if you hit both of them. So with all of that being said, we're going to go ahead and jump into a game and get a first look reaction at all of his abilities and check them out. Alright, we are back in game, and you can see his little animations there. I want to see if I can get his snap, because sometimes yeah, there we go. He just snaps and taps his foot, and you can see the snake like bobbing his head with him. Best part, look at this jump. It's absolutely amazing. One of the best jumps in game. His combat jump is weak though. He didn't really do much. This is his basic attacks. They are pretty cool. Take a look at his one here, and this is what I meant with the cross section. So you see what I mean when I said it kind of reminds me of Kali's blades a little bit, but obviously it's still different, and you can target it all the way up there. So that's what they look like. I'll take a look at it one more time, like doing a cross section like this. This is his 2. You can see what I meant with, you get the Izanami vibe with it for sure. Obviously it's a different ability, but same concept. His snake, not too crazy there, and then this is his ultimate.
Come, the party's this way.
So you can move around in it, CC immune and everything. Really, really cool. We'll go take a look at what everything looks like on the Odin bot and then like experiment with the Hysteria. So you can see there the little passive on the right hand side when the Hysteria builds up. So you can see basic attacks don't do a lot. If you hit both of them, so the first strike did 99 damage and the second one only did 30, so it does scale off 15%. So right now we break the threshold of 30%, and you can tell by the skull. So when they have that laughing skull, that's when they're on the threshold. So if we go and use our 1, their physical power, magical power, and attack speed are reduced. So you can't really tell. The 2, it's going to cleanse, heal allies, make them slow immune, and increase their movement speed. The 3 is going to do that thing where it jumps from enemy to enemy. So there's really nothing we can show you, unfortunately. Built up with Hysteria, but that's the 2. And so we do get healed as well. That's pretty cool. I guess it is kind of a self-heal. I thought maybe it was just going to be to allies. Actually, yeah, I guess it is going to be self, because I don't know why it would come to me if it wasn't. Yeah. And then the snake. So you can see that's a little indicator. And if anyone were to stand in this by, I think it's 1 second, if 1 second's up, they're going to get affected as well. Unfortunately, I can't make this Odin bot move, or I would. I might be able to get Raw over here. And you know what? Let's go try that right now. Let's go see if I can get Raw over here and get him affected by the snake as well. I don't think he'll follow me. I think he stops eventually. The jukes. Come on. Walk this way. Come on. You got it. Nice. Wait, what? Oh, I don't have Hysteria stack. Shoot. Alright, well, we're gonna retry that again. 2, 1. There we go. So, you can see how it jumped to him, and it's doing 8 okay. Let's get away from that while it's making that noise. So it did 8 damage to Odin, 8 damage, 8 damage, 8 damage, and then I think it did like 62 immediately to Raw. So we'll take a look at that one more time. 8, 8, and then boom, 62 immediately to Raw. So pretty cool there. Go ahead and take a look at the ult.
Time. Free your souls.
Unfortunately, we did the big damage to Odin. Alright. I'm getting tired of Raw. Let's go ahead and finish him off real quick. Obviously, oh, I was gonna say now we won't. Obviously, we don't have any, items or anything like that, so we're not doing a whole lot of damage. But you get the idea of his kit. Now, I just don't know what his lane clear. It has to be this, but I don't think you could hit all the minions. I'm not quite sure. So take a look at all the abilities one more time on the bots. See what they look like. And then we'll do the ultimate one more time since we didn't get a great idea. And then I'm going to go experiment on the minions. And I might buy like boots and like a typical start just to see what you could really do. Because I'm concerned about his lane clear big time. So start off right here.
The party's this way.
You can see, pulling him in. Boom. And that is a long stun for sure. And you have some burst potential with the 2-1 because by the time you place the 2 and it goes off, your 1's going to be hitting. Like, they should hit at the exact same time. So we'll take a look at that one more time. Tell you what I'm talking about.
Ta-da!
Literally the exact same time, but obviously you've got to have, like, a perfect setup for that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to reset to level 1. I'm going to go up to level 3. And we'll upgrade the 2 twice and the 1 just to see. And we'll get, you know what, I'm just gonna get tier 1 boots. We'll just get boots and see what it does from there. So, no, we gotta wait for the minions to pop up because I'm just concerned about the damage that he can do. And not only that, if he can hit all minions. If he can hit all minions with this 2, it might be okay, but I feel like even if you are able to, you're going to have to set up big time. Yeah, so you really can't. You can't get that back archer at all. The damage isn't bad. I mean, and he got the 2 as well. I don't think his lane clear is that bad. I was skeptical, but it's definitely not the greatest in the game. Don't think it's not Izanami for sure, but it's not as bad as like freaking Ares or something like that. Being a mage, I would hope not. So we'll take a look at his voice pack real quick.
Oh, yeah. Nice. There's the spirit. Cancel that. I am the party.
Oh, I love that one. His I'm the greatest is great.
I am the party.
Oh, my. Oh, he's got a spam-worthy laugh. That was just one laugh right there. I'm hearing Chucky a little bit in there. Just a little bit. That's a little weird.
There's the spirit. Cancel that. Careful. Stand too close and you will lose yourself.
His taunt animation is fantastic.
Too stiff. Live a little. Let the hysteria move you. Your life is at a crossroads, and I control your destiny.
His taunts are great.
Come now, child. Dance with me. Dance. Don't go dying too quickly now. I need time to dig your grave. Papa Legba said he made a voodoo doll of me. I think he's pulling my leg.
Oh, was that a voodoo? Okay, I get it.
A
I didn't
joke,
get that
huh?
at first.
Let me think of something hysterical.
Damn it.
Who is Vu, And what did he do?
That was so corny. I don't know why that made me laugh.
A joke, huh? Let me think of something.
So, I'm a huge fan
hysterical.
of this guy. This is my favorite release in a long, long time. I don't care if he's F tier. His kit is freaking fun. His voice lines, his jump, everything about him. Amazing.
Ta-da! It's time. Free your souls to the other
Alright,
side.
so that is it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, be sure to drop a like, hit subscribe for more content like this. Social media links are in the description. Until next time, thank you for watching.